Hello, disc golfers, and welcome back to MDG Media for our back nine of the Eastern Meadows, round number 1 for MPO feature card. My name is Elias Luukkonen. I'm here with Mr. MDG Maxime Tanghe. Welcome.
Thank you, Elias. Hello, everybody. Pleasure to be here. We just commented on the front nine. That's going to be an interesting, more opened last 9 holes right now. What do you think about the opening holes? I'm scared about it right now.
I think there is a lot of reason to be scared since we are having some extreme winds on the back nine. And as you said, the back nine is more open. I feel like when you come from the front to the back, it's almost like switching to a completely different course.
I will agree once you've passed hole 10, which is still a very tight, crazy par 4, and then we'll be in the opening field enjoying some crazy winds.
Very much true there, and our lead card actually did pretty well on the front. Everybody under par, want to be under par for this back, especially starting on hole number 10. This hole can be nasty, but it also can be okay. I'd say it plays closer to a par 4.5. As the drive, you have to throw something through the gap that moves in a perfect time to the right, out here to this grass field. And even if you throw the perfect drive, you have about 90 meters to the basket from the very, very perfect drive. And the line is just really tricky. You have to throw something Anheuser that kind of fades out at the end, but still holds most of the way. And a bit of a higher basket here. This hole is just really tricky. A lot of trees, but I'd say there still is a clean fairway. It's just pretty tight.
It's a clean fairway. I'd say the first shot is the most important of all. If you are able to go down there, it's very nice. This is not the worst shot and the worst reaction on a tree. But this is going to be a really hard par to get for Hjalte from there.
Yeah, hard par, but it's definitely an opportunity. I like the angle of clay here.
Very good shot.
Yeah, a little bit on the right there, but you're so happy with that. He got a lot of distance, less than 100 meters to the basket from there, and a likely par or even a birdie chance from there.
There was, I think, just one birdie yesterday on this hole for the entire MPO field. And a good shot for Lauri. Went down there with a backhand.
There you go, you can see his position there. Still a lot of trees between him and the basket. And Dennis, he has been doing this all round. He has been going for these forehand turnover shots where somebody might think that it's more natural to go for the backhand hyzer.
I will agree with you. He made this decision also on hole 8. And I don't remember for the other ones, but this is again very, very suitable for a lefty backhand, but opting for the forehand turnover, and this is beautiful. Not even sure where he landed, but he made the catch cam turn.
That's always nice as a player. So Hjalte here, going towards the right direction, just a little heavy on the Anheuser. And you can see he pretty much knows that he can get up and down for the par, but it's just going to be really difficult from that angle. As on the approach, you have a right side and a left side fairway. So Hjalte didn't really choose one. That's the problem that can easily happen on this hole. If you don't choose the right or the left side, you're stuck in this middle, and now he's trying to go through the middle. And that's a disastrous result there, hitting one of the first trees available. So now par is out of question. He can still play for the bogey though.
A bogey on this hole is not too bad. So you don't want to go above that, but bogey a lot of players will accept without being too frustrated. And Dennis not able to hit the gap he was looking for. This is probably going to be a bogey play for the Swedish champ.
So this was Lauri's drive, right?
This was Lauri's drive. Also, we had 2 birdies on the hole.
Yes, now we can say it. As not a spoiler, because a lot of these guys are struggling to get up and down for even the par. And Dennis running it again.
Bro, it's the second one of the round. He's running everything below 50 meters.
So there you go, Clay is very close to the basket here. And Hjalte, I'm not fully sure what shot this is, or how many shots he has thrown.
This was for bogey.
Okay, so the next one will be for a double. You can see a glimpse of what the wind is going to be on the back nine here. And weird release. What happened there?
I went on hole 10 to switch the SD cards for the cam-ups, so I noticed this and witnessed this live. It was very hard to watch.
So if I count correctly, this is for an 8.
Yes. Unfortunate, as he was putting C1 for the bogey. Let's say this happens. It's tough.
Yeah, just a bad timing as Lauri there with a birdie.
Yes, sir.
Wow, incredible birdie. He's one of the only 2 birdies. Shout out to Max Ringbom for being the second birdie of the day on the second most difficult hole on the course. Funny stat there, there was twice as many bogeys and above than pars on that hole, so playing very difficult. And moving to another hole that is playing slightly less difficult, still over par though. Hole 11. OB left. It's mostly a straight shot, but if you want to play the safest possible throw here, that's going to be a forehand hyzer with the right to left wind. So the right to left wind is going to push down any disc that is on a forehand hyzer or an anhyzer, talking about a right-handed player. A lot of people also just going for a low straight shot here. I'd say keeping it low is going to be the most important thing with the backhand or with the forehand.
This was blowing so hard. Yes. You can notify on the camera mic. The next 7 holes are going to be very tricky for the lead card and for the entire field. Actually, it's been like this for the entire day.
And even this feature card, I'd say they're gonna have slightly less wind on some of the holes than the cards playing in the middle of the day, as it's already getting a bit late.
Very nice shot from Dennis. Barely in the circle. But considering that wind, it's a very nice shot.
Well, they're really high here. Don't love the height, but he had a great angle on that, having a chance for a birdie putt.
And Lauri, tricky scramble. He's gonna have a tester around 6-7 meters with a lot of wind. And Dennis, not scared at all. Very good putt.
That was quick. In very much Denka fashion. He's one of the fastest players we probably can see on coverage. Had a good sit from Clay Edwards there. That had a lot of potential to roll. Even towards the backside OB, there's OB about 10 meters right of the basket.
Oh. Aggressive bid, deserved better for Hjalte. Would have been a relief after the quadruple bogey on the previous one.
Bit of a death putt here from Lauri. Good par save though. He's gonna be really happy with that one. This hole is not producing nearly as many bogeys as the last. Most of the field just getting a par and just about 14% birdies. Finally, our players have a bit of a break from the wind. Not as far as how hard the wind is blowing, but because of the wind direction. So on this long par 5, Want to throw as far as you can straight off the tee. Ideally fade more left than turn right, because there's a Mando at the corner. You can see this huge Mando sign on the tree, the right side of the screen. You can't really reach the Mando as it's really far away, but you can be a little bit short of the Mando and ideally left to open up the angle to hopefully already get into the trees on your second shot. Big dog leg here on the second, and it's a pretty easy par 5 if you throw 2 good shots. First one to the left side of the fairway and then into the woods on the second. Usually have about 50 meters of an approach. So this is definitely one you want to birdie, especially with the tailwind that we have.
Okay, and he's in the short grass area, left side, very good from Dennis.
Very fortunate break for Lauri there. He's actually gonna have a chance for birdie, even while hitting some of the trees on the right. And Clay playing a clean shot to the short grass. Not the biggest distance, but nothing wrong with the angle there. He's gonna be able to pitch up around the Mando and give himself about a 75-meter approach.
Hjalte. Not as far as I would have thought, knowing his natural distance.
Yeah, you fucking. Yeah.
In the middle, long grass, not easy footing, incoming for the second shot. Oh, careful.
This is pretty far left, it seems. It's
Good
gonna
shot.
be okay, yeah. Just a very long approach. I'm surprised that he didn't go for a forehand hyzer around the Mando there. This is more typical from being on the short side of the Mando. You're trying to play something overstable around and hopefully make that approach a bit shorter.
Nice shot from Dennis. In the position for an easy birdie. Probably 30 meters left uphill. Shouldn't be too hard. And a good placement shot from Hjalte.
Lauri here, a long approach, slightly missing the gap. This hole it has actually gone through a beautiful transition or transformation, because all of the last part of the fairway, as you can see, the green and pretty much the last 80 meters of the fairway used to be just rough woods. There would be no grass, but the crew here at the course has made an incredible effort to plant all of this grass and clear out the ground. A lot of work has been done on this course. That's really cool to see.
Yeah, cool information, because it looks like the grass is there for quite a while, actually.
Yeah, it's very recent. I believe only maybe 1.5 or 2 years old.
When you played it last year, was it grass?
It
already?
was, yes.
Okay.
But I believe then it was very recent, as Dennis here for another run and paying off this time. That's gonna be
Great
the
eagle.
and that's gonna be the only eagle of the day on this par 5. Cool. That's insanely cool to see. And imagine he missed the basket there. That still would have been a 10
Makeable for
meter.
him.
Yeah, a 10-meter comebacker, but it's not like he's gonna miss that putt. Nice birdie from Clay as well. This is one of the only back 9 holes. Actually, the only hole on the back 9 that is playing under par on average. So definitely one you want to birdie or eagle if you're Dennis. 37% getting a birdie or better on this hole. Moving on to the last stretch of 6 holes, all gonna be played with a lot of wind. This hole is usually pretty easy, but in today's wind, not so much. It's very much a touchy forehand shot. If you have that overstable approach disc forehand, that's probably the shot you're going for, or even an overstable fairway driver. Problem here is that even though the angle for the forehand is very natural, just the hyzer through the gap, the wind is blowing super hard from left to right. So if you get it up in the air and expose the flight plate to the wind, you're gonna be way right. And I think this is exactly what's gonna happen to Dennis.
Not too bad of a result, but he's gonna face a crazy headwind on the putt.
I would really love to see these players going as low as possible here, because the wind is gonna lift the disc up anyway, so you might as well just put it as low as possible and use the wind instead of exposing the disc to the wind. Yeah, this is a nice height from Hjalte. Very overstable disc as well. You can still see the wind is just pushing it, not allowing the disc to slow down at all. And that putt from just outside the circle is gonna be incredibly difficult. Once again, really nice height there from Lauri. Edge of the circle look there.
And a weird lead could be a tester from 4 meters as the wind is blowing crazy.
Yeah, Dennis luckily they're on the better side of the wind. Let's see Hjalte not making this one. That's exactly what I was scared of with this his putt putting hard on slight hyzer. Honestly, not much you can do in this wind besides just put the disc as flat as possible. Even Lauri's flat putt being carried away by the wind.
Okay, nice comebacker. Even if it's for bogey, it's important not to lose too many strokes on the Hjalte's side. And Clay is just going slowly but surely towards a very solid round, 6 down, avoiding mistakes. Went through the hardest holes without mistakes, even taking a birdie on hole 2.
Yeah, for sure, it's great to see, and the thing is, the hottest round in the clubhouse, as we saw just a moment ago, is gonna be 5 under. So if Clay can par out on the rest of the difficult windy holes, he's gonna be very happy. And hole number 14, this is definitely one where I would say the par is quite unlikely actually, because it's an island hole and the basket is very close to the right edge of the island. And most importantly, the wind that we have is going to be a strong left to right wind. So even though normally you're comfortable throwing your overstable putter or even overstable mid-range, just throw it through the gap and fade out, today you have to play it way more inside. Almost try to miss the island to the left through the gap, and the wind is going to push you towards the right, still keeping you in bounds. I'm interested to see what's the shot these players go for, because I think you have to play it very inside on the left, if possible. Let's see, Dennis playing the skip, trying to get over the edge of the island, but you can see the wind there, just not allowing him to skip to the left at all. Clay also pretty wide, wants to finish, and he actually gets the skip to the island. What a nice break there. I really want to see Lauri going more inside here. I think he's done it.
Yes, sir. Good one, tricky putt incoming. Go, go, go.
Really nice angle.
Oh,
Just
no,
stay there.
Oh,
Let's go.
very good. And we've just witnessed the disc skipping and being slowed down crazy by the wind. Oh.
Ooh, that's a big mistake from Dennis. Just can't afford to do that, so he... Oh, what? No! A crazy reaction. I thought he made that, but the wind just pushing the disc out of the basket. Hjalte, good putt. Even these 3-4 meter putts are not that easy in the wind that we have. So let's see Clay. This is a chance to go 7 under on the round.
Very solid.
Honestly, just incredible pace. To give you guys some sort of judgment on how difficult the course is playing, if you shot even par on this course, that I'd say normally this course is considered on the easier side with no wind. If you shoot even par, you're gonna get a round that is roughly 1,000 rating points.
I think it was 1,000 rated yesterday. So yeah, Clay is shredding right now. Hole 15, the second par 5 of the course.
Yeah, this hole is the toughest with the wind. We have a straight headwind that is absolutely ripping the soul out of your discs. Want to throw something as overstable as possible off the tee, stay in bounds, hopefully. Want to throw something as overstable as possible on the second shot, still stay in bounds, and then on the third shot you can actually think about something else than just staying in bounds, as you're gonna have about less than 100 meters, hopefully, on the approach. And you can do some tactical maneuvers with playing against the wind, hopefully with either a forehand or just a very overstable backhand. I would like to see all of these players once again keeping the discs as low as possible off the tee, so that the wind has less chance to mess with them.
Just go with your most overstable disc and control the fade. Good shot from Clay.
While from the catch cam, that shot might have looked really short. Catch cam is about 150 meters away, and these players into the ripping headwind are reaching about 100 to 110 meters, which is, it's good distance on this hole.
A very good shot from Hjalte. Good distance.
Lauri perfectly in the middle. Nice to see.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's gonna be OB for Dennis. He will need to find a more overstable disc tomorrow.
Looks like he's still trusting the same one though. Let's see if he puts some more hyzer on his third shot here.
Okay, okay. He needs to get down now. Oh my god.
Not much you can do besides laugh at that. I mean, not enough hyzer on the first shot, too much hyzer on the second. It's just really hard to know how much your disc will turn in this wind if you don't have that overstable one. Like Clay, clearly there, he threw a good shot, but he also had a disc that was overstable enough for this wind.
I'd say that's the problem from Dennis' disc. You can't really allow any glide in those conditions, or the wind is just going to eat it alive and send it OB. Very nice shot from Hjalte. Good distance also. He has a look for birdie.
Wow, look at that overstability. That's pretty crazy. I haven't seen many distance drivers that are flying as overstable as the one Lauri just threw there.
So Dennis is throwing his 5th shot now after 2 OBs in a row.
I'd say it's possible to get up and down from here. Very difficult though. Looks like he's going with a fairway driver now. So I think he has the most overstable discs in his bag being fairway drivers. And that's a good shot. A little bit short, but finally safe and in bounds.
Clay looks so happy when he's throwing. Happy face, Clay. This is high. And there is that OB.
In bounds.
Barely in bounds.
I think I would be happy if I was 7 under through 14.
Definitely, he must enjoy.
Lauri not so happy, but gonna be happy if he can get up and down for the birdie here.
Oh no, is it OB? Barely OB.
I think he might have crossed though.
I'd say he did.
So he's gonna have a putt for par there. Hjalte, a lot of hyzer there. This is looking great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, beautiful shot from Hjalte. This should be a birdie. And he's looking at his finger again. And this looks very easy on camera, but these 25, 30 meters up shots facing that crazy headwind are not easy.
Up shots? What? Are you kidding me? Bro, I fully thought he was just trying to lay up.
The same.
That's crazy.
How?
Wait, look at the wind reaction on this. So he throws just a normal looking putt. Wind lifts it up and then it drops it at the end. How do you even read that?
Do you think it was not on purpose? Not fully, but very nice.
What did you
And
say?
we've
Hardest,
just heard it.
hardest putt of his life?
Hardest or?
Biggest?
Yeah, biggest putt
Yeah,
of his
biggest.
life, I think. And a good par save for Lauri. Crazy birdie for Clay Edwards on this one. 8 down through 15 holes.
I mean, he's on pace to shoot one of the hottest rounds of the year so far. Which,
if he's able to take 1 or 2 extra, double digits.
In January 2026, MDG Media is heading to Senegal for a mission unlike any before. Not just to film disc golf, but to build it from the ground up. We will create the country's first ever disc golf course, visit local schools, donate discs and baskets, and share the game with communities ready to discover it. Through every step, you will be right there with us, thanks to a full-length documentary and live updates on social media. This is not just a one-time trip. It's about spreading the disc golf spirit and making a lasting impact. We truly believe that our sport can help make the world a better place.
yeah, double digits would be insane today. As moving on to hole number 16, I'd say this is gonna be, for the driving part, this is gonna be the trickiest of the last 3 holes, as we still have a headwind, a strong right-to-left headwind, and now we're actually playing in the woods. You have a couple of lines. Mostly you just want to throw something straight with a little bit of fade off the tee, ideally a driver that is very overstable in the wind. And then on the approach, depending on where you end up, you usually have some sort of hyzer to the green. This hole is a little bit hard to describe as there are so many different gaps you can take off the tee, and honestly on the approach as well. But the most important thing is keep your drive flat to a slight hyzer with an overstable disc.
It looks like he was not really satisfied with the line, but he went through. in an okay position, let's say.
Oh, that's actually a nice kick.
This is crazy how the discs are gliding in this wind, just not going forward after the kick. Beautiful to watch. So I have trouble to see what gap they are hitting and choosing.
I think they're going for the middle. So you have the 3 gap, you have the right, middle and left. I think all of these players are going for the middle gap, just taking different angles of the disc. But Lauri definitely the best drive there. Dennis trying to hit the same gap, a bit high though. Just the wind pushing the disc, bullying the disc.
So hard to handle. And Hjalte is still 1 down with a quadruple bogey on his card. And this is a great shot.
Yeah, incredible. He went with something super overstable with a right-left wind. So exposing the flight plate to the wind, but as the disc was so overstable, it didn't really matter as it's just trying to get to the ground.
And impossible to see where Dennis put his disc. Okay, same on clay.
I think
Some
they're
holes are hard to film for the catch cam.
Yeah, I think this is definitely one of those, but I think both of those 2 players, yeah, Dennis here, about 50 short and on the left side. High forehand, stalling into the circle. And Lauri finally getting to his drive. This is ideal. He only has about 55 meters to go. And parking it for birdie, that's way too easy on this hole.
Crazy distance on this first shot for Lauri, making the approach so, I won't say easy, but manageable. And Clay not in a position where he needs to take risk anymore. He can just lay up. And a turkey for Hjalte. Very good birdie from where he was standing after his drive.
I think Hjalte, besides a couple of the big putting errors, he has been playing really nice. He had that one 4-putt green, and then he had that another 3-putt green.
Yeah, I think he made all of his putting mistakes on the back 9. And he could still manage to be even on the back. Let's wait for the last 2 holes.
Hole 17 here. It's gotta be a great hole if you're comfortable throwing a hyzer forehand, because we have a left to right wind off the tee, and the perfect shot even in calm conditions is gonna be a hyzer forehand. You can also go for a backhand turnover if you want as the right-handed player, get some more distance. But the problem with getting more distance is that the fairway is getting more narrow with the OB lines right and left at that 120 meter mark. So ideally you want to pitch an overstable driver around 100 meters, 110 meters maybe. Leave yourself with another 110 to this green. The approach is also very much forehand, but you have to get it pretty close because the basket is quite elevated. And really difficult putting on this hole with wind and elevated basket. See, that's gonna be the perfect spot from Hjalte there. Closer you can get to the long side OB of the tee, the better your angle is gonna be for the approach. But of course, the closer you get to the OB, the bigger your chance of actually skipping or rolling to the OB.
Good shot from Lauri. Center fairway. Probably 130 meters from the basket there. Same for Clay, slightly shorter. And Dennis is in need to find some late birdies after 2 hard holes. Very nice shot.
Perfect. I was just looking at Dennis's scorecard on the back, and I don't know if I've ever seen a scorecard like that on 9. Couple doubles, one
Up and
eagle.
down.
And I heard that this shot actually hit the OB stake, and that's why it stayed inbounds. So very fortunate there from Clay. He wasn't necessary to go, or it wasn't sure that he was going OB even if he didn't hit the stake there. But a good reaction off the ground. And look at that shot from Hjalte. He's just on a roll right now, damn.
Yes, he's dialed on those last holes. Good reaction from him, actually.
This is wide, but still putting.
Stay there, bro. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. Gonna be a tricky wind direction with the putt. Elevated basket and right to left headwind.
Interesting decision making incoming for Lauri. Not really in the need to take too many risks right now. It's a decent round for him.
Dennis left is weirdly short. He has about 18 meters putt, and look at this. I don't know if any other player on the card would have run the putt, honestly, besides Dennis.
I'd say no.
Even any other player in the field. But of course he's the one to make it. Play here,
And he's
good
running
effort.
it.
Yeah, I was surprised. I saw this live and I was thinking he's gonna lay up for sure.
Oh. Direction was not too bad, and a good putt from Hjalte. 4 birdies in a row, through 3 down on the overall round. Very nice.
Little comebacker here. Ah, that's a tough bogey to swallow, being putting for birdie. That's what many players did on this hole today. Though you can see the wind is still ripping, but the wind has gone down significantly from what it was about 3 hours ago. So these guys actually have easier conditions now than most of the field. Moving on to hole number 18. Not so much affected by the wind as we have some trees protecting us and even a hill. So we're going downhill 130 meters, playing much shorter, probably playing at around 100 or 110 maximum. You can either take this straight gap that the drone is flying through, but I'd say the easier gap to hit is gonna be a forehand hyzer. Dennis will be going for a backhand hyzer, of course. And yeah, this green, even though with the elevated basket makes it a little bit trickier with the putting, actually isn't affected by the wind almost at all. It's very calm on this green. So we're gonna see some forehands and hopefully some shorter putts for birdie. Hjalte gonna be putting for birdie there. Pretty nice shot.
Not sure what happened there.
This is Clay. This is far to the left. Challenging the OB potentially.
my
Look
God.
at that break. Off the tree and inbounds. Man, I feel like he has played very well today, but he has also gotten a couple of really nice kicks there.
Especially on the last 2 holes, let's say. Don't you think?
Yeah, for
Good
sure.
break with that stake on 17. Good for him to go through all the branches and going back in bounds here. I'm wondering if his score went into his head, maybe thinking a bit too much about it. Shaky.
Yeah, very possible. Lauri there. He didn't have a great drive. Actually a pretty bad drive, but the approach is good. It's not that difficult of a hole because you can usually get up and down for the par even if you have a bad drive. Dennis also there, edge of the circle. Very makeable putt. This I thought would be just a layup. But I think he was running that.
Very good save from Dennis. Showed some skills on the green again. as usual, and as we are expecting him to do.
Yeah, still finishing under par. Same thing for Lauri, 3 under. Honestly, 3 under, it's not a bad score. He's just gonna feel frustrated with not getting that many birdies this round.
Yeah. But not too bad in the end, as you were mentioning. 3 down is a 10-27 rated round. So solid in the end. And a very, very good recovery for Hjalte. Good round for Clay also. 8 down, bogey free, which is pretty hard in this course and especially in those conditions. So Clay Edwards with an 8 down, Emil Karlsson, Hjalte and Tuomas Hytiainen will be and play together in the lead card tomorrow. And look at this top 10, we see Elias, Luukkonen, Maxime, Tanghe in it. We are pretty happy about it also. So playing under the par was good yesterday. We'll see the conditions for today's round. Pleasure to comment with you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, Max, and thank you guys for watching. Once again, we're gonna have some more action in tomorrow's round for round 2. Slightly less wind, slightly better scores probably. See you there.
See you there, guys. Thank you for watching.